Hey everybody, we're going to cover how to replace this on that. So I have a Kubota L2502 and something went wrong and my hour meter and tack cable snapped. So I had to Google and YouTube how to change it on the 2502, and there's no instructions for the 2502, but there are instructions for the 2501. Thankfully, they're not very different. I'm all the way through with the disassembly, as you can see here, but I thought I would take a minute, there we go, and walk you through what you need. In terms of tools, it's pretty simple. You're going to need a 12 millimeter socket, a 10 millimeter socket, and optionally a 17. Here's what you have to work with. Now, on the 2501, everybody says you have to drop the loader, take the whole loader frame off. As you can see, I tried it without doing that, and with the exception of this bar kind of being, you know, in the way, it's not that bad. So, drop your front bar, raise your cowling. You're going to have a protective cover on both sides of the motor. Here's the one for the well, I started to say passenger side, but it's tractor that doesn't have a passenger side. It's the right side. All you need to get that off, that's a wing nut right here. The other side has the same kind of setup, and that's a 12 millimeter. So you open your hood, you pull that one off, you come to this side, you take the plastic cover off of this, and then you simply have 4 bolts. And these are all 12 millimeter. Over here, you got 1 bolt on the left side of the tractor. You have 1 opposing it on the right side of the tractor. You have 1 up here in the top of the cowling. And you have 1 down here in the bottom of the cowling, right there. You got your 4 bolts. All 4 of those are 12 millimeter. They can come off very simply. What you're seeing here, mine is kind of already pulled apart. You have to just slide it back together there. So mine is pretty much not in place, but that's generally what you're going to wind up with. Now, I was lucky. I have a fairly new tractor, so my steering wheel was not frozen on. I took a 17, I can't talk today. I used a 17, take that nut off, pulled my steering wheel, pulled the bushing out, and that allows me to kind of lift this up and just have it rest on that steering column cover, and that makes it very easy to get in here. So here, your instrument cluster has 4 10 millimeter screws. 1, 2, and on the bottom, 3 and 4. And if you pull this cowling back, see they're very easy to get to. You don't need help. You can do it all with 1 set of hands. If you can't pull your steering wheel off, you might want to have another set of hands to hold the cowling up. But aside from that, it's pretty simple. That will instrument cluster enough that you can get to it. You can maneuver it around. It's hard to do while holding the camera. You just have to take my word for it. But then all you do, and the way I'm going to do mine, come down here, find your throttle cable. Mine is, I've already disconnected it. It's right here, but it mounts right there. So it just goes in underneath here and pops in right there. So I would say you can try to loosen these zip ties, but if you can't, just cut the zip ties. I'm going to peel them back one at a time. So I'm going to take 1 cable off, take the zip tie off, put the new cable in, put the zip tie back, and just work my way up. And then it goes up the top here. You have a zip tie there, and then it simply comes in through the cowling, and it's not super easy to see, but there it is at the bottom, that black cable. And then that runs up and it thumb screws into cluster. That's it. I thought it was going to be a hard process. Truthfully, to get it apart took me 10 minutes. Changing the cable is probably going to take 15. And it'll take me 10 to put it back together. So 45 minutes or so, end to end. Pretty simple fix. Hope you guys find this useful.